Good day, class. Today we will be discussing about hypothesis testing. For us to understand what is hypothesis testing, we will be applying it in a real-life example. 1. Classroom. Howard and Francis are conversing. Dude, I think may gusto sa akin si Ma'am Sarah. Ha? Paano mo naman nasabi? Parati niya ako tinatawag sa class, parati niya ako pinapaiwan sa classroom para maglinis. Sinasabi ko sa iyo, may gusto sa akin si Ma'am Sarah. Interesting hypothesis. However, it is still a hypothesis dahil sa mga present mong data. Anong hypothesis? Facts yun. Mukhang hindi mo pa alam ang difference ng hypothesis at facts. Let me explain it to you. Hypothesis is considered as an educated guess which provides purposed outcomes based on experience and theoretical knowledge which is likely to be correct. See, sabi ko sa iyo, tama ako. Likely. Ang hypothesis mo ay kung may gusto ba sa iyo si Ma'am Sarah. So let us make it into a hypothesis testing. Let us represent the null hypothesis as H sub O, which is walang gusto sa iyo si Ma'am Sarah. And the alternative hypothesis as HA, may gusto sa iyo si Ma'am Sarah. Ang HO denotes a null hypothesis. It is a claim that means absence, such as absence of difference or absence of relationship or equality to a same value. HA, on the other hand, denotes an alternative hypothesis. It claims that it means presence, such as the presence of difference, presence of relationship, or inequality to a certain value. Like sa ginawa kong statement, it represents H sub O represents the absence, or walang gusto sa iyo si Ma'am Sarah as a null hypothesis since I use the word wala which denotes absence. And ginamit ko sa alternative hypothesis yung word na may gusto sa iyo si Ma'am Sarah, which denotes na may presence. May gusto means presence. Pero kahit hypothesis ito, it is still a hypothesis. Kailangan nitong patunayan methodologically. Fine, sige, tanungin na lang natin si Ma'am Sarah mismo para matest natin ang hypothesis mo. Ma'am Sarah, gusto ko sanang tanungin kasi parati mo akong tinatawag sa klase at pinapaiwan sa classroom para maglinis. So ang tanong ko, kung may gusto po ba kayo sa akin or wala? Ha? Naku, Howard, nag-a-assume ka lang. Well, kaya naman talaga ma-hypothesis testing para malaman mo kung totoo ba yung claim mo or hindi. Parati kitang tinatawag sa klase kasi alam kong matalino ka at parati kitang pinapaiwan sa classroom para maglinis kasi masipag ka. Pero wala ko siyang gusto, be. However, si Sir Ivan mo ang gusto ko. Kaya sa kanya ako ngayon sasama para mag-date kami. Hey, Binibini. What's up, losers? Ipagpatuloy nyo lang ang paglinis ng classroom ni Ma'am Sarah nyo. Ayaw niya ng maruming classroom. Tara, Binibini, iwan na natin tong mga losers dito. Sige! Bye-bye! Bye-bye, class! Pagputihin nyo paglinis ng classroom. Scene 2. Classroom. Arjen, Nelson, and Jewel are conversing. Guys, naka 4,000 points ako sa paglaro ng CODM. Wow! Ang galing mo naman, Arjen! At ang gwapo pa! Os,
Hindi ako naniniwala sa claim mo. Siya kaya, pakita ko pa sa'yo. Well, I think it's just your claim.
Hey! I think pwede nating i-represent ang claim ni Arjen sa lesson natin sa statistics, yung hypothesis testing.
Yes, we can represent it. We can represent it in a step-by-step form. The first step para sa hypothesis testing ng iyong claim is to first identify the claim. Your claim is Arjen scored 4,000 points in CODM. The second step is to identify the parameter. Kailangan nating i-identify kung ano ba ang parameter natin. Ang parameter natin is that Arjen scored 4,000 points in CODM. Step 3, i-represent natin ang parameter via symbol. So the symbol to be used in a parameter is P. The fourth step is the representation of the null and the alternative hypothesis. The null and alternative hypotheses are complementary pair. And since Arjen claims he got a score of 4,000 points in CODM, therefore, its complementary claim is that he didn't get a score of 4,000. Therefore, the complementary pair that we shall use is the null hypothesis is that the parameter is equivalent to the value, while the alternative hypothesis is that the parameter is not equivalent to the value. Therefore, we can write the answer as, in words, that the null hypothesis is that Arjen scored 4,000 points in CODM, and the alternative hypothesis is that Arjen did not score 4,000 points in CODM. In figure, we can write that as HO is P equals 4,000. And the alternative hypothesis is that P is not equal to 4,000. And that's how you write a hypothesis, para may alam tayo sa pagsulat ng research natin.
Wow, Nelson! Ang talino mo talaga at ang gwapo pa.
Sorry guys, kung nagsinungaling ako, gusto ko lang namang magustuhan niyo ako eh. Okay lang yan. Hindi ka man magustuhan ng mga klase natin, gusto pa rin naman kita. Lo, para tong tanga, gusto rin naman kita eh.
Ikaw nga ba si Mr. Right? Ikaw nga ba love of my life?
Sana all!
Heartbreak anniversary.
Scene 3. Classroom. Rosemary and Carol are conversing.
Be, alam mo na ba yung sabi sa Facebook na ang STEM ay para sa ABM? Ay naku be, huwag ka magpapaniwala doon. Well, I believe na pwede naman talaga, basta magaling sa accounting. ABM yun. Sigurado ka? Oo naman, ang mga ABM students ay nakakakuha ng grade na at least 90 sa accounting. Sige, let's put your claim to a test. Kailangan mo na natin i-identify ang claim mo. So you claim that ABM students has at least a grade of 90 in accounting. The second step is that we must identify the parameter. Our parameter is that ABM students have at least a grade of 90 in accounting. Our third step is the representation. We represent the parameter using the symbol P. Our step 4 is that we must represent the null and alternative hypothesis. We claim that ABM students have at least a grade of 90 in accounting. Therefore, its complementary claim is that the ABM students have a grade of less than 90 in accounting. Therefore, we represent the null hypothesis as the parameter is greater than or equal to the value. And the alternative hypothesis is that the parameter is less than the value. Therefore, we can write the hypothesis now as, in words, that the null hypothesis is that ABM students have a grade of at least 90 in accounting. And our alternative hypothesis is that ABM students have a grade of less than 90 in accounting. In figures, we can write that as the null hypothesis is greater than or equal to 90. And the alternative hypothesis is less than 90.
Wow, galing naman natin sa paggawa ng hypothesis. Pwede na tayo magsimula sa research natin.
Yup, mukhang madadali na tayo sa paggawa ng research.
Pero bago yan, pakilala muna tayo kay Kuya na paparating. Hi Kuya, ano name mo? Hi, my name is Renz. Di ba ABM ang strand mo? Oo. Hee! Ilan ang grade mo sa accounting? 89. Ay,
Pwede na yan, be. Gwapo naman si kuya. Saka ABM rin.
hi guys, just additional information. Ang second at third scene natin is actually two different types of hypothesis testing. The second scene is a non-directional hypothesis, a hypothesis testing that uses the symbol equal or not equal sign for the null and alternative hypothesis respectively. The third scene is what we call a directional hypothesis. It uses the symbol less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or less than or greater than for the null and the alternative hypothesis. We must be critical in making our hypothesis as it will determine the outcome of our research studies.